The development of this taxonomy has been a result of a collaborative journey. It was approved by the Cabinet in April of this year, and following extensive consultations and validation workshops with stakeholders from various sectors.
The Rwanda Green Taxonomy is a framework, and it is here to support and align with other existing policies, strategies for green sustainable development that the government has put in place. And again, the objective of the taxonomy today is to help us pursue and mobilize capital for green transformation, but also turning Rwanda into a sustainable finance hub. What is a green taxonomy? It's a classification, it's a strategy, it's a framework that really helps us to classify what is green and what is not green. The taxonomy is here to help us and give us a common language to use and understand when we are classifying things that are green and not green.
We need this. We at the Ministry of Environment have been pushing for this. What we are trying to achieve as a ministry and as a country is sustainable growth. And in the age of climate change and where we see climate change impacts, it's critical that we have the tools to be able to achieve this. I have never heard of any type of climate adaptation or mitigation that doesn't involve money to some extent. So we needed to have a linkage between what we do on the ground and the finance sector. And I'm happy that we have a tool like this one so that we can effectively work together, so that when someone comes to you with a project that they claim is green, you have the tools to verify that it is actually something that is going to bring about sustainability in the country and for Rwandans. Umuturage ku isonga, like we say. And as we do that, I want to challenge everyone, and I want to challenge some of the people that I saw from my ministry to make sure that this doesn't die out here. We at the ministry are working with the Rwanda Green Fund and other institutions to make sure that we make financial resources available for the Rwandan private sector and the Rwandan public sector.
We have three areas that are critical for taxonomy, and they talked about substantive contribution. It's about mitigation, it's about adaptation, and then there's various other objectives that you can go through. Now, in other words, when you click on mitigation, as I'm doing right now, you can see that there are a number of sectors that you begin with. There is construction, which was the example that was provided here, but you want to know more about construction, then you just click on the plus, and then it will give you a number of descriptive information. One is about ICIC code, but that is a standardization. Again, I believe these are international standards that our taxonomy adheres to, again, in light of all the countries that are coming on board. Right now, investors are going to be looking at, does Rwanda's taxonomy fit the criteria for financing as sustainable?
You talked about irrigation, and I wanted to clarify how is green taxonomy going to support or yield our irrigation system, and to what extent is it going to improve our irrigation systems in different areas?
What challenges are we facing in irrigation, for instance, as well as in other development areas anyway, which triggered the need for taxonomy? One is because we are transitioning from business as usual to enhancing sustainable development, where climate is a critical factor, as well as other environmental issues, all of which are actually covered in the taxonomy. The appetite for taxonomy in Rwanda, being given one of the initial countries to adopt this, is based on our policies of transitioning to sustainable development.
Something else that the taxonomy is going to do, as much as we want to attract funds from out there, but I also believe there's an opportunity. We have the commercial banks here, we have our institutional investors. How do we also unlock domestic, capital, and start seeing more of, the deployment towards green? And from what we've understood always, from at least the financial sector, is it's risky, the risk aspect. But I believe that now that we have this green taxonomy, it also will help in assessing the environmental risks better. So once the financial sector is able to assess the risks better, we hope that you will also, with time, you can also design or come up with products and that will also allow us to see more financing flowing in the green space.
The National Bank of Rwanda has already guided the financial sector on how to incorporate climate risk in their risk management processes and frameworks. And I'm happy also to say that especially for the commercial banks, they have already submitted it to us, their self-assessment. We still see the capacity challenge and data challenge, but there is already a progress. And some have already set targets on how they want to move in their loan portfolio, which one should be into green, and they have targets that they want to achieve in the coming years.
I think this needs also the capacity building. So what is the process so that maybe any cooperative organization or company that needs capacity building can just access trainings?
Capacity building is going to really drive pipelines in financial institutions. Somebody from I&A mentioned that, yes, we are going to really put a lot of energy in, but also to confirm that there are already incentives that are happening, and I'll talk about the incentive on the fiscal incentive on the green mobility. We've really given up a substantial amount of tax for those that are bringing into the country. Let me say cars that are green, we subsidize the hybrids. For electric, I think it's 100%, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot that is happening there.
Climate change is the defining challenge of our time. The choices we make today will echo far beyond our own lifetime. Green finance is therefore not a technical detail, but a way to turn responsibility into action and to mobilize resources, steer investment, and safeguard future prosperity. Establishing clear standards and transparent frameworks enables capital to flow where it's most needed, into climate adaptation, resilience, and sustainable growth. Germany and Rwanda have a long-standing partnership in climate and environmental cooperation. Over the years, this collaboration has focused on renewable energy, biodiversity, and sustainable land management, reflecting the shared commitment of our two governments to address the global climate challenge. Germany will continue to work with Rwanda in this journey and remains committed to continuing our support, particularly for capacity development, to facilitate the effective use of the Rwanda Green Taxonomy, its navigator, and the ISSB adoption roadmap.
The GIZ stands ready to actively engage. We have seen the rhythm of the seasons, the crops, the rain. It's changing rapidly. Whether we like it or not, climate-related risks are materializing. There should be no moment lost in moving ahead with courage and innovation. Successful climate stories like the Rwandan one should be written together. Rwanda should therefore take the lead in the region and globally. What a wonderful and memorable journey this has also been for me personally. Murakoze.
So on behalf of the KIFC, I extend heartfelt appreciation to all institutions, private sector, public sector, regulators, partners, of course, and of course our very own line ministries, Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Environment, that have made this possible.